Hi guys, and welcome to this episode of the Just My Opinion podcast. So, Davido made some statements about Burna Boy, and the internet has been buzzing about that. And we're going to talk about that, and we're also going to give some brief rundown of the whole Davido Burna Boy saga. We're specifically going to be reacting to this video on YouTube, a segment of the video where they briefly highlight the whole situation happening now. Then we will share our opinions and give some brief rundown of how things have been going down and what we think at the end of the day. Like we always say, just our opinion. Remember guys, subscribe to this channel if you want to keep on following up conversations like this, if you enjoy having conversations like this about the entertainment industry and other topics. And we always encourage you at the end of the conversation, put your comments in the description. Let us know what you think. Our disclaimer, which we always lead with, is this is just our opinion, this is just my opinion. So anything that is shared and you feel like I don't like our opinion, feel free to share your own opinion in the comments below. So let's get to it. Before we watch the video, hi Ambassador.
Hello people, it's your boy Ambassador again doing this thing.
So have you listened or watched some of the drama going on between Davido and Burna Boy?
You know I like drama, so I'll be following your posts. Yeah.
Okay, let's watch a segment of this video on YouTube. Then we'll talk about it some more. Okay, so
and Whiskey blowed up, you know what I'm saying? So it feels good, you know what I'm saying? Seeing that, then feels good also seeing the new cats coming up, you know what I'm saying? Like Burna Boy, Rema, Fireboy, who is Mayor Cool, you know, a lot of new cats coming, killing it. Ashake, that's on my album. So yeah, so like I think the future in Afro is good.
And since he made this interview, a lot of people have been reacting. Burna Boy.
Okay. Let's first talk about the new cats situation where he grouped Burna Boy, Rema in the same group. New cats.
No, so I think it's just because it's coming from Davido that it sounds insulting. But rightfully so, they are the new cats though.
What's the definition of new cats? Maybe we start from there. What's the definition of new cats?
So new cats to me is a new generation of, relatively new generation of urban artists. So you cannot put Burna Boy with Don Jazzy and D'banj.
Yeah.
And Two-Face can comfortably call D'banj a new cat though, at his time.
But Davido cannot.
When Two-Face was fading, D'banj was coming up. It's true that their eras of existence kind of overlapped, but Two-Face came before D'banj. D'banj can comfortably call the Olamides and all of these other guys that were at that time the new cats. Their eras kind of overlapped, but D'banj came before them. Hence, Whiskey came at the era with the Olamides, met them kind of. Davido met the Wizkid and the Olamides, then Burna Boy joined.
So
when we're talking about, let's say, the big four now, might mention, or big three, might mention Wizkid, Davido, Burna Boy. So they're all now in the same mix.
Okay, so
if we want to trace the timeline, definitely Davido might be younger, or maybe age mates, but time-wise, Davido blew up before Burna Boy.
So before we proceed, what duration do you need to be in the industry before nobody's allowed to call you new cat, or you can forever be called a new cat depending on the person?
So it depends who is calling you new cat. So a Femi Kuti can be calling D'banj new cat. Like in Cameroon, Salati has been top A-list for more than 10 years. the Petit Pays can call him the new generation artist, the new cats.
But the point I'm trying to drive is that new as we know is something which is fresh, something which is.
No, so that's why I'm saying that. So do you think Petit Pays cannot call Salatiel a new generation artist or a new cat? Cameroon, let's come.
So if Petit Pays says new generation artist, new school artist, right? It's okay. Yes. But so
new cat is just a slang because he was talking American style. But that was just him saying that the new generation artist. Because at the end, when he concluded, he said that's to say that the industry is in good hands, the future is assured, something like that. That's what he said.
Then you go on. So
the word he used, which he said cat, and then who is coming from Davido, who is a very strong rival and enemy. People think he's young, but he's not that young, and if we're being honest, he came before Burna Boy.
Okay. Davido came before Burna Boy. We agree, right? Now, yes. He did not only go on to call Burna Boy a new cat, he grouped Burna Boy with Rema.
No, he did not say this group. Like there's one other guy who did his interview, I think Sam Clef, who did like a timeline kind of thing where he said, so after the Burna Boys, there is another generation that came. I don't think it's directly the Rema generation, but he was just listening, and I don't think Davido, I don't know him that well. I don't think he carefully thought and said, let me mix Burna Boy with Rema just to spite him or something. Just for spite. I don't think so. I think he was just calling out all the names which, since he had already mentioned what they were doing himself and the Wizkids and the rest, he just felt it the right to mention Burna Boy, who was also a very active member there. But as I said, one is because it's coming from Davido. Two, because Davido is not that old. Two, because of the dynamics of their relationship. Yeah. Now it just happened that he called Tope, but you cannot lump Burna Boy and the Remas. Remas came maybe a couple of years after Burna Boy.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was lumping them as a group. He was just saying people who he thinks they still have time in the industry. And I think even him included. But usually in things like this, you will not be putting yourself on the forefront. He was just mentioning people who he thinks, if the music industry is left in their hands, the industry's future is bright.
Yeah, because if I have to group Nigerian artists by generation, I will group Davido and Burna Boy in the same generation. So for me,
and Wizkid then.
Yes, and Wizkid, I'll group them all in the same generation. So it's funny when somebody who I'll group you in the same, like if a Mr. Leo comes and calls Salatiel a new cat. That's how it sounds to me.
No.
Or a Salatiel comes and calls Mr. Leo
came
a new
before
cat.
Mr. Leo.
Okay,
Mr. Leo became bigger than Salatiel.
Okay, so okay, let me reverse it. If a Salatiel comes and calls a Mr. Leo a new cat, it's going to be weird.
So let me put it this way. But will you feel a kind of way with Salatiel? Because we don't use new cat in our everyday jargon. Will you feel a kind of way if Salatiel calls Mr. Leo Petit Frere?
Petit Frere? No.
Yes.
I'm not going to feel a type of way. Petit Frere is an age thing. Petit Frere is not a career thing.
You might be surprised. Maybe Salatiel is maybe older than him. But there's also the aspect of there are people who I call Petit Frere who at times I realized that I was not older than them. But just because maybe money-wise, social standing-wise, they are calling you grand frère. You did not know their age from the get-go. You're also calling them petit, just like that. But now when you come and look at you realize that I was not older than this guy.
But I think that is different, because when they talk about new school, new generation, we're talking about music. They are music, right? When we talk about Two-Face having the right,
if it's music wise, Davido has a right to call Burna Boy petit frère.
No. So what
As we say in Cameroon.
No, what I'm saying is, if we are saying that new cat, right? We are saying new cat means new generation, right? If that's what we are saying, and we are also saying that Burna Boy, Davido, and Wizkid belong to the same generation. So what are you saying? What?
New cat also mean petit frère.
No, new cat.
In the context, it was about musical generations. But that's what I'm saying. That means new cat also mean petit frère. So everyday American jargon, when you see these new cats, they're talking about the younger people.
So new cat is a subset of petit frère, right? So new cat is a subset of petit frère. Yes. So new cat is a subset of petit frère. So he used a subset and he did not use the parent. So if he used the petit frère, that people will probably still have an issue with it. But what I'm saying is he used the subset, which means he was talking about the music-wise. And the music-wise, Davido and Burna Boy are in the same generation. Why did he not call Wizkid? Why did he target Burna Boy? So it's
because Wizkid came before him. That's why I thought I've been following this drama closely. This other guy did, and what's his name? Is it B Red? That Davido's cousin. Adeleke Senator's son. I think it's B Red, I think it's B Red. But he was saying that he used to stay with Don Jazzy then. Don Jazzy and them. I think Wizkid at one time used to hang around there. Most of those artists, when if you have been to artist spaces, when the main guys have blown, they rent a big mansion. A couple of other younger guys who are hoping to blow, very talented, and even those guys who have blown know that these peripherals are talented. They are just there around the house that wanted to have their own opportunity to just feature one of those songs, then boom, they are from. So he said that he used to just hang around their house, helping to play piano for them, do things and like that. So he was sitting with Wande Cole and Wizkid. At the time, all of them were just like the upcoming people. This is the B-Red saying that. And then he said Davido started blowing up in Nigeria. And then people were like, he had the hottest song. So Wizkid was like, who is this young man who is this person that is saying that he has the hottest song now? And then B-Red told him that that's my cousin. He's coming for you guys. So that's to tell you, like, Wizkid was not even that big at the time when Davido started blowing up. But Wizkid that also had 1 or 2 hits, but it was not that big.
Okay, so
then he also mentioned that when they went to, he called one Nigerian place, I don't know if it's Aba or it's Calabar or some, he called some state in Nigeria. And when they went there, Burna Boy was running behind their car and came and met them and said he was a fan of something like that. It's true, people took it the wrong way and saw things, but it sounds like it maybe really happened. I'm just saying maybe really happened because we're not there. This is spread against Burna Boy's word. Burna Boy has not contradicted it either way. So for now, it's what he has said that stands alone. So if it happened that Davido had already blown up, first Davido's blowing up was not too difficult. Because he was Omo Babalawo, he was already a star before he became a star, just based on the family he's from. The Adeleke family is no joke. So as soon as his fame could meet up with his game, it was a go. He did not have to, like, you see, like the Wizkids that blew up, then later on their money caught up with them, maybe 5 years after they had blown up. Davido's fame was still trying to catch up with his money because the guy was already good. I mean, like his standard of living, the kind of money he had, when he talks about the kind of studio his father had already built for him, the 80s artist, the biggest of the biggest in Nigeria, was trying to come to that studio. Talks about how he was popping bottles in the clubs and all of that. The guy was already living a living, man. So, with that being said, Davido's story was different. And that was when people might get salty because you feel like this guy who just came up, how come he's already rolling with the Don Jazzy and the rest? But because of the kind of weight he was pulling, he did not need to do his time of youth service of 5 years of carrying bags and trying to feature in people's studios and things before his own money catches up with his fame. The guy's money was already ahead of his fame. So that's why I said Davido's story is kind of different. People might take it the wrong way, but if you follow the backstory of some of those things, it's possible. It's okay for Davido to say that, but I just feel like based on the environment or the climate which both artists are existing in, maybe he shouldn't have said that just to avoid all of this noise.
Yeah, but so for me, I
It's
don't.
it's not a lie. It's not a lie what he's saying. If you want to look at what he said, numbers, dates, and all of those things, it is not a lie.
I remember this video. If we continue, we will see there was a point where they talked about when Davido's first hit was 2011, Burna Boy's first hit track was 2012. So this is basically 1 year difference when they both hit fame. 2012, 2011, and I'm like, okay, you guys have 1 year difference, so definitely the same generation, very close to each other. I don't think you relative to yourself.
I think that guy is mixing it up because Omo Babalawo, I think Omo Baba Olowo came out 2012. But before that, I think Davido had 1 or 2 singles
which had gone viral,
which were already blowing up in the streets here.
Yeah, but
I think so. I've just forgotten the title of those.
Like
singles.
to like
1
to
or 2 singles.
Like to Party was not also Burna Boy's first song. So they were talking about the songs which made them reach the level of fame, which was
but
like
this is what I'm saying.
National level.
With a one, so Burna Boy had that his song where they were dancing galala on the streets of Lagos. I can remember very well that song where they were all looking very black. Even the dancer was looking very black. They were standing in these middle places that divide the traffic lane and things. I think that was like maybe his first I saw and dance that they are galala dance kind of thing. Right? Before I think he left and went to Ghana, then left and went to South Africa, then really became big, then came back to Nigeria. Now, because Burna Boy did not have the kind of money Davido had, when he has like 2 singles that hit the street, you have know of those guys that like Atif Mafawo, na country in Cameroon. That song became really viral. But because his pocket was not yet ready to match the fame of that song, he could not catch up with the song. So the song rode the wave, the song went ahead alone. That's what I'm saying. So most artists, their songs, they have like 2 or 3 viral singles. Then their money finally catches up with the fame of those singles. And maybe now they put out an album, then they're now a recognized bona fide artist. But Davido did not have that problem because his money was already ahead of him. We were hearing about what this young guy is doing in the club, the kind of studio he had, which no other. He had like the best studio in the video his father paid. When the agreement his father signed with him was go back to school and when you go to school, I'm going to fund your career. So the father built that studio for him. His father is a billionaire in dollars. Imagine the kind of studio that guy
Agreed, right?
Imagine the kind of video he shot for Davido. So Davido, even if that is single, had not yet blown up, but when he hit the streets, Davido's status also hit the street.
Okay, we agree that Davido came from a wealthy family that helped him get a certain level of fame faster than Burna Boy. But what my point that I'm trying to drive is, before I even go to my point, I want to ask you this question. What do you think Davido mentioning Burna Boy's name among Rema and the rest as one of the new cats, do you think, in your opinion, do you think his intentions were pure? He just mentioned the name like that. Do you think that?
That's why I said I don't know Davido like that. So let me just give you an example. There are people who are just chitty-chatty without thinking what they say. Like a Charlemagne, right? Charlemagne will just say him random things and it's just funny and it sounds wild. And maybe even later on, he might go back to apologize. Then there are calculative people who will say things like Jay-Z. Jay-Z says something, I know that he has thought about it. So I don't know where to put Davido now, if it's a Charlemagne just talking kind of person, or is a calculative person like Jay-Z. I'm tilting more towards a Charlemagne kind of person who, not that extreme of Charlemagne, but somebody who does not really calculate things like that. But I may be wrong because I don't, as I said, opening lines, I don't know him like that. I have not followed him that closely to, like, if I'm talking about Jay-Z and I'm talking about Charlemagne because I've followed those guys. You have watched their professional and unprofessional videos and things, and So I don't know. I cannot see. But as I also said, given the climate, I feel like it's only birds. It should be expected, this kind of uproar and disgruntled feedback. But then I added to it saying that, yes, so if that was his intention, then he was just trying to be disrespectful to Burna Boy. But if we want to go truth-wise, there is truth in what he's saying. In the sense of, you are not the same generation.
They are the same generation. We have said this year that they are the same generation. We have said Wizkid, Burna Boy, and Davido are the same generation. So I don't understand when you say they are not
okay, let me not say not the same generation, but you came into the game before him.
Yeah, you came to the game before him. But anyway, so let's
you can call him new cats.
Okay, let's talk about our sponsors. Then we come around up with this conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so as usual, man, it's Echo Online, talking about the money, getting the numbers. There's one aspect of Echo Online which I don't usually highlight, the analytics. It is strong. Echo Online is an app and a site built for Africans by Africans, which is adapted to our local payment methods. Very simple. Get on board, build a community, build a strong following. So create your profile on Echo Online as an artist, take the link of your profile and then share it with all your followers on all your social media handles. So they start following you on Echo Online. That way you build a community. Hence, when you release anything or you're part of an event or selling tickets or anything like that, your followers are going to see directly, and then the payment methods are well adapted to the African reality. Hence, you can start making money or creating value from your core fan base, which is in Africa, given that you're an African artist. There's one other aspect, like the discussion we're having regards to some of these things, numbers. So Echo Online has a lot of analytics, which you can just check your analytics directly. You know, like where are people listening to my song the most from? Where am I having my best sales from? Hence, if I'm doing my next event, I want to sell my tickets, so I'm releasing my song and I'm going to do a promo tour, I should go to Yaoundé, I should go to Lagos, I should go to Johannesburg, because that's where my analytics show me that that's where I have the best numbers. So some of these things which we are discussing about, who is bigger, who is not bigger, who is new card, who is not new card, analytics will also help in some of those convos. When I'm talking now from the business sense, not from a fan/fanatic sense. I'm talking from a business sense. You could make better business decisions using Echo Online because they help out with your analytics here. So jump on Echo Online and then share your success story. I always tell people, those who the early bird, man, early bird. Those who jump on Echo Online or those who jumped on YouTube first became millionaires in dollars because YouTube built the site taking into consideration their needs and they got the best endorsement tools before they were. So jump on Echo Online and then share your success story with us, guys. It's Ambassador said so.
Okay. Yeah, definitely jump on Echo Online and build a following for yourself and grow. So I just want us to round up. I want us to round up with this conversation. It has been a lot of back and forth. So, but my opinion, so I just want to clarify my opinion as my concluding statement. My opinion is Davido, Burna Boy belong to the same generation. If I have to group the generation, I would say Davido, Burna Boy, Wizkid. And I think the word new cat, or if people say new school, it's a generational thing. It's not a 1 year thing. It's not a 1 year different thing that's being referred to. So I think Burna Boy has been in the industry. If it was that Davido became famous in 2022 and Burna Boy became famous in 2023, I'll say, okay, yeah, he's new to everybody. He's still new to me. But Burna Boy has been in the industry for long enough, and him and Davido are still in the same generation. So I don't think by any sense, Davido should feel comfortable calling Burna Boy a new cat, because Burna Boy is in the same generation as Davido, and Burna Boy has been in the industry for a really, really, really long time. So that's my opinion. Ambassador, what's your opinion? Hello?
Your audio.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. So for me, anymore. There are new people like the Arya Stars and Madrid and Ruka and Asake who have come after him. He too can feel that way. So everybody can feel like, and even those guys who feel like they're not new cats anymore, they feel like they've been long enough. So if we want to go down that road, I just feel like it's a very loose term. I explain why I think people are taking it the wrong way, because it's coming from Davido. Maybe another artist who came out maybe the same time like Davido might say this and people will not take it this way because of the climate and the tension between the two. Maybe. But as I'm saying is, new cat is a very loose term. It can mean younger brother in the industry. It can mean younger brother by age. It can mean people who came in the last 5 years. It can mean people who came in the last 1 year. It can mean people who came in the last 20 years based on who is saying it. So I just say it's a very loose term, which I don't think people should make too much of a fuss about it. And I think he was just talking. He was like, it was not really a speech which he took his time to write and then thought about it. He was just talking in the, don't know, he might have drank 1 or 2 bottles. He was just feeling the mood and he said what he said. So I don't think people should not cause any civil war. Yeah. He has already said his own. And you know Davido, he does not talk much. The next thing is just going to say, fam.
He's unavailable.
Or he's unavailable. In his visa, he's unavailable.
Okay, so that's my opinion. That's the ambassador's opinion. Let us know in the comments below, what is your opinion about this? What do you think Davido's intention was? What do you think Davido's personality is? Do you think Davido was right in calling Burna Boy new cat? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up to this video. Subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification button and see you guys next time. Bye guys.